When this teen with cancer gave his final answer, Steve Harvey was left speechless. In a moment that transcended the game show, Alex stepped onto the stage, ready to share not just answers, but a life-changing message. This isn't just a story about a game. It's a journey of courage, resilience, and hope that will leave you inspired. So, buckle up. What unfolds next will not only touch your heart, but ignite your spirit. In a world filled with dreams and possibilities, Alex was like any other teenager, full of life, laughter, and aspirations. They were the kind of kid who could light up a room with their smile, always dreaming of a bright future, planning for college, and looking forward to adventures with friends. Their calendar was filled with school events, sports practices, and weekend hangouts. Alex had just begun to explore their identity, trying new hobbies like painting and joining the school's drama club, discovering passions that would shape their future. Their friends often described Alex as a beacon of positivity, someone who could find the silver lining in any situation. But one fateful day, everything changed. The air was thick with uncertainty as Alex sat in the sterile doctor's office, the faint smell of antiseptic clinging to the walls. The room felt cold and uninviting, contrasting sharply with the warmth of their vibrant spirit. As they glanced around, their eyes settled on the medical posters, each one more clinical than the last, reminders of the harsh reality they were about to face. They could hear the muffled sounds of laughter and chatter from the waiting room, a stark reminder of the life outside that felt so far away. When the doctor finally entered, a wave of anxiety washed over Alex, tightening their chest. The words, "You have cancer," shattered the serene facade, plunging their world into darkness. In that instant, time seemed to freeze. Fear gripped Alex's heart, and in that moment, their dreams felt distant, overshadowed by the weight of a diagnosis that threatened to steal everything away. The doctor's voice became a blur as Alex tried to process the information. Questions raced through their mind. What would this mean for their future, their friends, their family? Would they have to give up on their dreams? The thought of facing such an overwhelming battle was terrifying. As tears threatened to spill, Alex fought to maintain composure, not wanting to show weakness in front of their parents, who sat beside them, their faces etched with concern and disbelief. They could see the worry in their eyes, a reflection of their own fears, and it was almost too much to bear. The silence in the room was deafening, filled only with the sound of their own heartbeat pounding in their ears. In the days that followed, the reality of the diagnosis began to sink in. Alex faced a whirlwind of emotions: anger, sadness, and confusion. They felt like they were living in a surreal nightmare that they couldn't wake up from. Friends who once filled their days with laughter now seemed distant, their laughter a painful reminder of what Alex felt they were losing. School became a daunting place, where every corner held memories of carefree moments now overshadowed by uncertainty. But even in the midst of despair, a flicker of determination ignited within Alex. They remembered the countless moments of joy spent with friends and family, the laughter shared over trivial matters, and the dreams that once felt so tangible. Instead of succumbing to the fear, they resolved to fight back. "I won't let this define me," Alex thought fiercely, their spirit refusing to be crushed. They began to research their condition, seeking knowledge as a form of empowerment. This decision marked the beginning of their journey, a path filled with challenges, but also with hope and resilience. Alex knew they would have to undergo treatments that would test their physical and emotional limits. The thought of chemotherapy was daunting, but they also realized that this would be a battle fought not just with medicine, but with spirit and determination. They would not just be a patient, they would become a warrior, ready to confront whatever lay ahead. As the news settled in, Alex began to realize that this battle would not be fought alone. Support would come from unexpected places, family, friends, and even strangers who would rally around them in solidarity. Their parents, though shaken, became a source of strength, attending every appointment and researching treatment options late into the night. Friends began to organize fundraisers and awareness campaigns, showing Alex that they were not alone in this fight. They had a community behind them, ready to support them every step of the way. This was not just their fight. It was a collective struggle that would bring people together in ways Alex had never imagined. They found comfort in online forums where other teens shared their stories, and slowly they began to feel a sense of belonging within a community of fighters. Each day became a lesson in resilience, teaching Alex that even in the darkest of times, there could be light. But little did they know, the true battle was just beginning. As the reality of their diagnosis settled in, Alex faced the daunting task of beginning treatment. The first few weeks were a whirlwind of hospital visits, consultations, and medical jargon that felt overwhelming. Each appointment brought new challenges, but nestled within the sterile walls of the clinic was a network of support that Alex had never fully appreciated until now. Family and friends rallied around them, providing a comforting presence during the hardest moments. Every time Alex entered the hospital, they were greeted by familiar faces. Nurses who had quickly learned their name, offering warm smiles and reassuring words. And doctors who took the time to explain each step of the process in a way that felt manageable. The initial fear began to transform into a sense of routine, albeit one filled with uncertainty. On days when the treatment felt particularly taxing, Alex sought solace in the small joys, such as the comforting warmth of a cup of tea in the waiting room and the laughter shared with other patients who were navigating similar paths. However, the journey was not without its setbacks. The side effects of chemotherapy began to take a toll, leaving Alex feeling drained and nauseous. The once vibrant colors of their life faded into a muted palette of grays and whites. Days spent in bed felt endless, and the vibrant life they once knew seemed to slip further from their grasp. The emotional weight of their illness grew heavier, and with it came moments of despair that threatened to engulf them. Alex grappled with missed opportunities, school events, hanging out with friends, and the simple pleasure of being a carefree teenager. Each missed moment felt like a reminder of what they had lost, intensifying their feelings of isolation. Internal battles raged within them. How could they be hopeful when each day felt like a struggle? The fear of not being able to return to normalcy loomed large, casting a shadow over their spirit. Friends were out living their lives, posting pictures of adventures on social media, while Alex found themselves confined to hospital rooms and treatment schedules. In these moments of doubt and sadness, Alex often turned to their journal, pouring out their feelings onto the pages. Writing became a lifeline, a way to process the emotional turmoil swirling inside them. The act of putting pen to paper allowed them to articulate their fears and frustrations, transforming chaotic thoughts into coherent expressions. Yet, amidst the struggle, there were glimpses of light. Family support became a cornerstone of Alex's journey. Their parents, though visibly shaken by the diagnosis, became unwavering pillars of strength. They attended every appointment, sat by Alex's side during treatment sessions, and organized family movie nights to inject some normalcy back into their lives. These evenings became treasured rituals filled with laughter and popcorn, offering a brief escape from reality. Friends reached out with text messages, video calls, and even surprise visits, reminding Alex that they were not alone in this fight. The outpouring of love and support from their community provided a sense of belonging that was crucial during this challenging time. It was during one of these moments of connection that Alex had an epiphany. While sharing their story with a close friend during a late-night phone call, they realized the power of vulnerability. What if I could inspire others? The thought ignited a spark within them, fueling a desire to share their journey beyond their immediate circle. Alex began to envision a platform where they could not only tell their story, but also connect with others facing similar challenges. They imagined their words reaching someone who felt lost, someone who might benefit from hearing that they were not alone in their struggles. This newfound purpose inspired Alex to participate in the upcoming game show, a platform that could amplify their voice and message. They imagined standing on that stage, sharing their journey with millions, and showing that resilience could shine through even the darkest times. The idea filled Alex with excitement, transforming their anxiety into determination. The prospect of being able to share their story publicly felt like a beacon of hope, a way to turn their pain into something meaningful. As the preparations began, Alex found strength in their community. Friends offered to help with rehearsals, creating a lively atmosphere filled with laughter and encouragement. Each practice session became more than just preparation. It was a celebration of life, hope, and the shared desire to inspire others. They practiced answering questions, sharing their story, and even rehearsing how to convey their emotions authentically on stage. Alex felt a sense of camaraderie, realizing they were not just preparing for a game show, they were building a movement of hope and resilience. However, the road ahead was still fraught with challenges. The lingering side effects of treatment occasionally sapped their energy, leaving them feeling vulnerable and exposed. There were days when the weight of their illness felt particularly heavy, and the fear of failure loomed large. Would they be able to articulate their message effectively? Would they stumble over their words in front of the cameras? These thoughts sometimes crept in, but they were met with the unwavering support of friends and family, who reminded Alex that this was not just about winning or losing. It was about sharing a story that could touch lives. As the date of the game show drew closer, the excitement mixed with nerves became almost palpable. Alex felt a sense of purpose that propelled them forward, igniting a fire within. They were determined to turn their challenges into triumphs, to show others that even in the face of adversity, there is a reason to hope and fight back. Each rehearsal, each moment spent preparing, brought them one step closer to that goal. But as they prepared for the show, the stakes would become even higher. As the days turned into a countdown, the anticipation for the game show filled the air with a buzz of excitement and nerves. Alex could hardly believe that they were on the verge of stepping into a spotlight that could amplify their voice and message. The thought of being on national television, sharing their journey with millions, ignited a mix of exhilaration and anxiety. This was not just a game show. It was a platform that could inspire countless others who might be facing similar battles. The family transformed their living room into a makeshift rehearsal space, complete with a TV setup to mimic the game show stage. Friends and family gathered, eager to support Alex in this new adventure. They turned what could have been a stressful experience into a joyous occasion, filled with laughter and love. The atmosphere was electric as they played mock games, quizzing each other on everything from trivia to popular culture, while also encouraging Alex to practice sharing their story. Each rehearsal became a celebration, a chance to bond over shared hopes and dreams, and a reminder of the strength found in community. However, as the date of the game show drew nearer, the pressure of performing well began to weigh heavily on Alex's shoulders. Doubts crept in like unwelcome guests, whispering fears that threatened to undermine their confidence. What if they forgot their lines? What if they stumbled during the questions? The thought of embarrassing themselves in front of a live audience was daunting, and each passing day felt like a ticking clock, amplifying their anxiety. Alex found themselves questioning if they could truly represent their story in a way that would resonate with viewers, if they could convey the depth of their experiences and the lessons learned. In those moments of anxiety, Alex turned to their journal, where they poured out their fears and hopes. Writing had always been a refuge, a way to articulate feelings that sometimes felt too overwhelming to share out loud. They penned reflections about their journey, reminding themselves of the resilience they had shown so far. Each word reaffirmed their commitment to be authentic and honest during the game show, no matter the outcome. The act of writing became a form of therapy, allowing Alex to channel their fears into something constructive and empowering. One evening, during a particularly intense rehearsal, Alex's best friend Mia noticed the tension etched across their face. After practice, Mia pulled Alex aside, her eyes filled with concern. "Hey, you know you don't have to be perfect, right? You just need to be you. That's what makes your story powerful." Her words struck a chord, and Alex realized that the essence of their journey was not about perfection, but about authenticity. This was a chance to share their truth, to show others that vulnerability could be a source of strength. It was a reminder that everyone watching would likely relate to the imperfections and struggles in their own lives. With a renewed sense of purpose, Alex dove deeper into the preparations. They focused on the key messages they wanted to convey, crafting a narrative that was not just about their struggle, but also about their triumphs, the moments of joy, and the unwavering support they had received from loved ones. They practiced speaking from the heart, visualizing the audience as friends who were eager to listen and learn from their experiences. Each time they rehearsed, they felt more confident in their ability to connect with viewers, to draw them in with the honesty of their story. In the days leading up to the game show, the atmosphere at home was electric. Family members offered to help with last-minute preparations, from wardrobe choices to practicing on camera. Alex's parents even organized a small gathering to celebrate the upcoming event, inviting friends and family to share in the excitement. The living room was filled with laughter, encouraging cheers, and delicious snacks. Stories were shared, old memories were revisited, and the warmth of their support served as a beautiful reminder that they were not in this fight alone. They had a whole team behind them, rooting for their success. As the night before the game show arrived, Alex found it hard to sleep. They lay in bed, mind racing with thoughts of what tomorrow would bring. Would they remember everything they wanted to say? Would they be able to connect with the audience on a personal level? Alex took a deep breath, reminding themselves of Mia's words. They were ready to share their journey, to inspire hope, and to show that even in the darkest times, there was light to be found. The prospect of reaching out to those who might be struggling offered a sense of calm amid the chaos of their racing thoughts. The morning of the show dawned bright and clear, a stark contrast to the storm of emotions swirling inside Alex. As they prepared to leave for the studio, a mix of excitement and nerves bubbled within them. They donned their favorite outfit, one that made them feel confident and empowered. In the mirror, Alex took a moment to breathe deeply, repeating a mantra they had created. "I am strong. I am brave. I am here to share my story." The reflection staring back at them was filled with determination, ready to conquer whatever challenges lay ahead. Arriving at the studio, the vibrant atmosphere enveloped them. The buzz of production crew members, the bright lights, and the bustling energy filled the air, creating an intoxicating mix of excitement and anxiety. Alex could feel their heart racing as they stepped into the building, a mixture of excitement and apprehension coursing through their veins. They were led to the green room, where they met other contestants, each with their own stories and dreams. Sharing a few laughs and exchanging words of encouragement helped to ease some of the tension that had been building. It was comforting to realize that everyone in that room was united by a common goal: to share their stories and inspire others. As the time approached for Alex to step onto the stage, they felt a surge of determination. This was their moment, a chance to shine and share a message of hope that resonated far beyond their personal journey. The stage lights dimmed, and the host, Steve Harvey, greeted the audience with his signature charisma. Alex took a deep breath, ready to face whatever came next, fueled by the love and support of those who believed in them. But nothing could prepare them for the moment that would leave everyone speechless. As Alex's name was called, and they stepped onto the stage, the lights shining down like a spotlight on their journey, they felt a rush of emotion. They were not just there to compete. They were there to share a story of resilience, hope, and the strength found in community. This was their chance to inspire. And as they looked out at the audience, they could see faces filled with anticipation, ready to listen. With every question and every answer, Alex felt the weight of their journey transform into a powerful connection with those watching. This was more than just a game. It was a moment to shine a light on the struggles and triumphs that defined their path. And as the game progressed, Alex knew they were about to embark on a journey that would change their life forever. As the lights illuminated the stage, Alex felt a rush of adrenaline coursing through their veins. The vibrant audience, filled with hopeful faces, seemed to pulse with energy, creating an electric atmosphere that was both exhilarating and intimidating. They could hear the applause and cheers, each sound echoing in their heart, reminding them of the journey that had led to this defining moment. The stage was set, and Alex was ready to share their story with a world that needed to hear it. Steve Harvey welcomed Alex with his usual charm, instantly putting them at ease. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next contestant, Alex. They have an incredible story to share with us today. The audience erupted in applause, and for a fleeting moment, Alex felt like they were floating above it all, buoyed by the support of strangers who were eager to hear what they had to say. It was a surreal experience, standing under the bright lights, surrounded by cameras, and knowing that beyond the stage, thousands of viewers were tuning in, ready to listen. As they took their place at the podium, Alex glanced at the camera, feeling the weight of the moment settle in. This was more than a game. It was an opportunity to connect with others who might be facing their own struggles. The host began with light-hearted banter, easing into the game with questions about Alex's interests and hobbies, allowing them to showcase their personality. The laughter shared between them created a bond, and Alex felt their nerves begin to dissipate. The warmth of the audience's laughter wrapped around them like a comforting blanket, providing the courage needed to dive deeper into their narrative. But as the game progressed, the questions became more challenging, each one demanding not just an answer, but a piece of Alex's heart. "What was the most difficult part of your diagnosis?" Steve asked, his tone shifting to one of genuine curiosity. Alex took a deep breath, the weight of the question hanging in the air. This was the moment they had prepared for, the chance to share the raw, unfiltered truth of their experience. Honestly, it was the uncertainty. Alex began, their voice steady but filled with emotion. The fear of not knowing what the future held. the anxiety of treatments, and the struggle to maintain hope. There were days when it felt like I was in a fog, not knowing how to navigate through the darkness. The audience listened intently, their expressions reflecting empathy and understanding. The silence that followed was heavy with the weight of shared pain, as many in the crowd nodded, relating to the uncertainty that life often brings. As Alex continued to speak, they felt the power of their story unfold. They shared anecdotes about the support from family and friends, the small victories during treatment, and the moments that made them laugh even in the toughest times. There was this one time, Alex chuckled, recalling a memory, when my friends organized a surprise chemo party in my living room. We watched movies, played games, and just made the best of it. It reminded me that even in difficult times, there's always a reason to smile. The laughter that erupted from the audience lifted Alex's spirits, reinforcing the idea that joy could coexist with pain. It was a reminder that life, even amidst hardship, could still hold moments of light. With each passing question, Alex felt a sense of liberation. This was not just about winning a game. It was about breaking the silence surrounding illness, about showing others that it was okay to be vulnerable and to seek help. They spoke passionately about the importance of community, how the support of loved ones had been a lifeline during their darkest moments. I want people to know that it's okay to lean on others, Alex emphasized, their eyes scanning the audience. We're stronger when we come together. No one should have to face this battle alone. Their words resonated deeply, echoing in the hearts of those who understood the struggles of isolation that often accompanied illness. As the game continued, Alex answered questions with growing confidence, each response a testament to their resilience. Steve's engaging style helped to draw out the best in them, allowing Alex to express their thoughts and feelings in a way that felt authentic. The connection they felt with the audience deepened, and they began to visualize the impact their words could have on those watching at home, those who might be battling their own challenges in silence. It was a realization that brought a sense of purpose, knowing that their journey could inspire others to find strength in their own battles. Then came the moment that would change everything. The final round approached, and Alex's heart raced. They had the chance to win not just a cash prize, but the opportunity to spread their message further. The stakes felt high, but instead of fear, Alex felt a surge of determination. No matter what happens, I'm already a winner, they reminded themselves, steeling their resolve. This was more than a game. It was a chance to make a lasting impact. The final question was posed. What advice would you give to someone currently facing a health crisis? Alex paused, the weight of the question sinking in. This was their opportunity to reach out directly to those who might be struggling. I would say, don't face it alone. Reach out, talk about your fears, and let others in. There's strength in vulnerability, and you don't have to carry that burden by yourself. The sincerity of their words resonated deeply, and Alex could see nods of agreement from the audience, their hearts echoing the truth of that message. The emotions in the room were palpable as the audience connected with the heartfelt sentiment. As the game wrapped up, the crowd erupted in applause, and Alex felt a rush of gratitude wash over them. They had done it. They had shared their story and connected with others in a way that was profoundly meaningful. Regardless of the outcome, they knew they had made an impact. The host leaned in with a warm smile. Alex, you've touched our hearts today. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. It was a moment of validation, a recognition that their vulnerability had opened doors for conversations that mattered. As the final scores were tallied, Alex felt a sense of peace settle within them. The experience had been transformative, a testament to resilience and hope. When the winner was announced, it was not just a victory for them, but a celebration of the strength found in community and shared experiences. The cheers from the audience rang in their ears, a symphony of support that reminded Alex of the love surrounding them. But what happened next would leave everyone, including Alex, in awe. With the announcement of the winner, the cheers grew louder, and Alex held their breath, heart pounding in their chest. And the winner is Alex, Steve declared, his voice booming with excitement. The crowd erupted into a frenzy, a wave of applause and cheers washing over them like a warm embrace. Alex's heart raced as they processed the news, disbelief and joy flooding their senses. This wasn't just a game show victory. It was a validation of their journey, a testament to the power of resilience and hope. Overwhelmed, Alex stepped forward to accept the trophy, their eyes brimming with tears of joy. They glanced at the audience, their friends and family cheering them on, and felt a deep sense of gratitude. This moment was not just for them. It was for everyone who had supported them, for those who had shared their struggles, and for those who needed to hear that hope was possible. "Thank you so much. This means the world to me," Alex exclaimed, their voice filled with emotion. "But more importantly, I want to dedicate this win to everyone fighting their own battles. Remember, you are not alone. Together, we can find strength." The audience erupted into applause once more, and Alex felt an overwhelming connection to everyone in that room. As the cameras flashed and the confetti fell, Alex knew this was just the beginning. They had a platform now, a voice that could inspire, change, and bring hope to those in need. The journey ahead was still uncertain, but with the support of their community and the lessons learned along the way, they felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With a heart full of gratitude and a spirit ignited by purpose, Alex stepped off the stage, ready to embrace the next chapter of their journey, knowing that this moment would resonate far beyond the confines of the game show. In the days following the game show, Alex found themselves riding a wave of exhilaration and newfound purpose. The victory had far exceeded their expectations, not just in terms of the cash prize, but in the connections they had made and the impact their story had resonated with so many. As the initial excitement began to settle, Alex realized that this moment was not just a peak in their journey, but a turning point that would lead to a new chapter in their life, one filled with opportunities to inspire and uplift others. After returning home, Alex was greeted with a warm welcome. Friends and family had gathered to celebrate, filling the house with laughter, hugs, and an abundance of congratulatory messages. The atmosphere was electric, a perfect reflection of the joy that had enveloped them since the show aired. It felt surreal to be surrounded by loved ones who had supported them throughout their journey, cheering them on as they stepped into the spotlight. The walls were adorned with banners and balloons, each one a testament to Alex's resilience and courage, and a reminder of the community that had rallied around them. As the celebrations continued, Alex took a moment to reflect on the experience. The game show had been a platform, yes, but it had also been a catalyst for change. They felt a responsibility to harness this newfound visibility to advocate for others who were navigating similar challenges. The realization that their voice could inspire and uplift others ignited a fire within them. They knew that their journey was far from over. It was just beginning, and the possibilities stretched out before them like an open road. With that in mind, Alex began to explore ways to channel their energy into meaningful projects. They reached out to local community organizations that focused on health awareness and support for those battling illness. Alex proposed the idea of hosting workshops and speaking engagements, where they could share their story and connect with individuals who needed encouragement. I want to create a space where people can feel safe to share their experiences and learn from one another, they explained to Mia during one of their brainstorming sessions. Mia, ever the supportive friend, was enthusiastic about the idea. That's amazing, Alex. You have so much to offer. Your story can make a real difference. Together, they began planning events that would not only provide support, but also foster a sense of community. The response was overwhelmingly positive. People were eager to participate, and soon, Alex found themselves organizing their first workshop. The excitement surrounding the event was palpable, and Alex could hardly contain their enthusiasm as they prepared the materials and set up the venue. The day of the workshop arrived, and Alex was a bundle of nerves. They had invited a diverse group of individuals. Some were fighting their own battles, while others were there to support loved ones. As they stood before the group, Alex felt the familiar rush of adrenaline. This time, however, it was coupled with a sense of purpose that steadied their nerves. "Thank you all for being here today," they began, their voice steady. "I want to talk about resilience, hope, and the power of connection. We're all here because we've faced challenges, but together, we can find strength." As they shared their story, the room filled with emotional stories and experiences. Participants opened up about their struggles, their fears, and the moments of light that had guided them through the darkness. Alex listened intently, offering words of encouragement and sharing insights from their own journey. Each story shared was a reminder of the strength found in vulnerability and community. And together, they created an atmosphere of trust and understanding. The energy in the room was palpable, and Alex felt a profound sense of connection with each person present. The feedback from the workshop was incredibly positive. Many participants expressed gratitude for the safe space Alex had created, and several requested more sessions. This was just the beginning, and Alex felt invigorated by the possibilities that lay ahead. They began to expand their outreach, collaborating with healthcare professionals to incorporate educational elements into their workshops. The goal was to equip attendees not only with emotional support, but also with practical tools to navigate their journeys. Alex envisioned a series of workshops that would delve into topics such as nutrition, mental health, and coping strategies, creating a holistic approach to healing. As Alex continued to engage with the community, they found themselves in various media interviews and podcasts, sharing their story and the lessons learned along the way. The initial excitement of the game show victory had blossomed into a movement, one that encouraged open dialogue about health, vulnerability, and the power of connection. Alex was determined to use their platform to advocate for mental health awareness, emphasizing the importance of seeking help and supporting one another. They understood that their journey was not just about their own experiences, but also about amplifying the voices of those who felt unheard. However, amid the whirlwind of activity, Alex faced moments of doubt and exhaustion. The pressure to be a source of inspiration weighed heavily at times. "What if I can't keep this up?" they confided to Mia one evening over coffee. "What if I let people down?" Mia reached across the table, her expression serious yet supportive. "You're doing amazing things, Alex. But remember, you're only human. It's okay to take a step back when you need to. Your story is powerful, but it's also okay to have your own moments of struggle." Her words were a soothing balm, reminding Alex that vulnerability was not only a strength, but also a part of being human. Taking Mia's advice to heart, Alex made a conscious effort to balance their advocacy work with self-care. They began to set aside time for themselves, engaging in activities that brought them joy and peace, whether it was painting, journaling, or simply taking long walks in nature. This balance allowed them to recharge and come back to their mission with renewed energy and passion. They discovered that by nurturing their own well-being, they could be more present and effective in supporting others. As the months passed, Alex's workshops gained traction, and they began to see the ripple effects of their work. Participants were forming their own support groups, sharing resources, and creating networks of encouragement. It was a beautiful testament to the power of community and the impact that one story could have in igniting hope and resilience in others. Alex felt a sense of fulfillment as they witnessed the transformation in people's lives, knowing that they were playing a role in helping others find their voices. Finally, after several successful workshops and events, Alex received an invitation to speak at a national health conference. It was an incredible opportunity to reach a wider audience and share their message on a larger scale. As the date approached, Alex felt a mixture of excitement and nerves. This was a chance to advocate for change on a grander stage, but it also carried the weight of responsibility. On the day of the conference, as Alex stood backstage, they took a deep breath, recalling the journey that had brought them to this moment. They had faced fears, embraced vulnerability, and discovered the strength that comes from community. With that in mind, they stepped onto the stage, ready to share not just their story, but the stories of everyone who had been a part of their journey. The stage was set, and the audience awaited, a sea of faces eager to hear the words that would resonate with them. Hello everyone, my name is Alex, and I'm here to talk about resilience, hope, and the incredible power of connection. They began, their voice ringing out with confidence. The audience listened intently as Alex shared their experiences, weaving in the stories of the individuals they had met along the way. It was a powerful reminder of how interconnected our journeys can be, and how, together, we can forge paths of healing and hope. Each story was a thread, woven into the fabric of a larger narrative that spoke of perseverance, compassion, and the importance of community support. As they concluded their speech, the audience erupted in applause, and Alex felt a wave of fulfillment wash over them. This was more than just a presentation. It was a culmination of their journey, a celebration of resilience, and a commitment to continuing to advocate for those who needed a voice. The warmth of the applause enveloped them, a reminder that their message was not just heard, but felt deeply by those in attendance. In that moment, Alex realized that life after the game show had become something beyond their wildest dreams. They were no longer just a contestant. They were a beacon of hope, a source of inspiration, and a passionate advocate for change. The journey was ongoing, but they were ready to embrace whatever came next, knowing that they were not alone in this fight. With each new initiative, each workshop, and each story shared, Alex felt the impact of their journey ripple outward, a testament to the power of vulnerability and the strength found in community. As they stepped off the stage, the bright lights dimming behind them, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose wash over them. They were committed to continuing this work, to sharing their story and the stories of others who had faced adversity. The journey ahead was filled with possibilities, and with every step, they were determined to make a difference, one story at a time. As spring blossomed around them, the world outside seemed to mirror the growth and transformation occurring within Alex. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the promise of new beginnings. a fitting backdrop for the exciting changes taking shape in their life. After the success of the National Health Conference, Alex found themselves with a renewed sense of purpose and a clearer vision for their future. The momentum they had gained was exhilarating, and they were eager to harness it. With each workshop, Alex had not only shared their story, but had also created a platform for others to share theirs. The feedback had been overwhelmingly positive, with many participants expressing gratitude for the safe space to discuss their experiences. Inspired by the impact they were making, Alex decided it was time to expand their reach even further. They envisioned a series of community events that would not only focus on health advocacy, but also promote overall well-being. Events that celebrated life, resilience, and the power of community connections. As they began planning, Alex reached out to various local organizations, mental health professionals, and wellness coaches to collaborate on these initiatives. The idea was to create a holistic approach to health, one that encompassed physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Let's not just talk about illness. Let's celebrate wellness, Alex proposed during a meeting with potential partners. The enthusiasm in the room was palpable, and soon ideas began to flow. Workshops on nutrition, mindfulness, and stress management were just a few of the topics that emerged, each focusing on empowering individuals to take charge of their health and well-being. One of the most exciting collaborations was with a local yoga studio, where they planned a wellness retreat designed to rejuvenate the mind, body, and spirit. Alex envisioned a weekend filled with yoga sessions, guided meditations, and workshops focused on self-care and personal growth. The response from the community was incredible. Spots filled quickly as people expressed eagerness to participate in a weekend dedicated to healing and connection. The anticipation was electric as Alex watched the roster of attendees grow, each name representing someone ready to embark on their own journey of discovery. As the date of the retreat approached, Alex found themselves reflecting on how far they had come. The journey from a contestant on a game show to a community advocate had been filled with challenges and triumphs, but each step had been worth it. They had learned the importance of vulnerability, the power of sharing one's story, and the strength that comes from connecting with others. Yet, even amid this excitement, Alex felt a hint of apprehension. They wanted to ensure that the retreat was immersive and impactful, and the pressure to deliver weighed on them. Remember, you're doing this for everyone else, not just for yourself. Mia reminded Alex one evening as they sat together, going over the final details. You're creating a space for healing and connection. Just be yourself, and everything will fall into place. Her words were a comforting reminder that the essence of the retreat was not about perfection, but about authenticity and connection. On the day of the retreat, the atmosphere at the yoga studio was infused with energy and anticipation. As participants began to arrive, Alex greeted them with warm smiles and open arms, creating an immediate sense of community. The space was beautifully decorated with soft lighting, calming scents of essential oils wafting through the air, and soothing music playing in the background. It felt like a sanctuary, a safe haven where individuals could let down their guards and explore their journeys together. The combination of vibrant colors and gentle aromas created an inviting ambience, encouraging everyone to feel at ease and ready to engage. The retreat kicked off with a gentle yoga session led by a skilled instructor who expertly guided participants through movements that encouraged relaxation and mindfulness. Alex joined in, feeling the tension in their own body begin to melt away as they flowed through each pose. The shared experience of stretching, breathing, and grounding themselves in the present moment created an unspoken bond among the participants. Laughter and camaraderie filled the room, and for many, it was their first opportunity to engage in such a healing practice. The instructor's calming voice and the rhythmic sounds of the music helped everyone find their flow, connecting the group in a shared, journey of self-discovery. Following the yoga session, Alex facilitated a workshop focused on storytelling and healing. Today, we're going to explore the power of our stories, they began, their voice steady and inviting. Each of us has a unique journey, and by sharing our experiences, we not only find healing for ourselves, but also create connections with others. Let's embrace our vulnerability and see how our stories can inspire and uplift one another. The participants listened intently, their faces reflecting a mix of curiosity and openness. Alex felt a wave of gratitude wash over them, knowing that they were providing a platform for others to express themselves. As they broke into smaller groups to share their stories, Alex moved from circle to circle, listening and supporting each participant as they bravely opened up about their struggles, triumphs, and personal journeys. The atmosphere was charged with emotion as individuals spoke about their fears, hopes, and the moments that had shaped them. Alex felt a profound sense of gratitude to be a part of this transformative experience, witnessing the healing power of connection in real time. Every story shared was a thread woven into the fabric of the retreat, creating a tapestry of shared humanity that enriched everyone's experience. The retreat continued with workshops on nutrition, where a local health coach shared practical tips for maintaining a balanced diet, and mindfulness sessions focused on breathing exercises and meditation techniques. Participants engaged in discussions about self-care, resilience, and the importance of mental health, sharing insights and strategies that had worked for them. The sense of community deepened as they realized they were not alone in their struggles. Each individual carried their own burdens, but together, they could find strength and support. Alex observed as friendships blossomed and pairs or small groups formed, exchanging contact details with promises to keep in touch. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the studio, Alex gathered everyone for the closing circle. "I want to thank each of you for being here today," they said, their voice filled with emotion. "You've all shown incredible bravery in sharing your stories and connecting with one another. This is what community is all about: lifting each other up, providing support, and celebrating our journeys together." The participants shared their reflections, expressing gratitude for the safe space Alex had created. Many spoke about feeling empowered and inspired, eager to take the lessons they had learned back into their everyday lives. The energy in the room was palpable, a collective sense of hope and determination that resonated deeply with Alex. They felt a surge of joy as they witnessed the formation of new friendships and support networks, knowing that the impact of the retreat would extend far beyond that single day. Returning home that evening, Alex felt a sense of fulfillment wash over them. The retreat had been a resounding success, a testament to the power of community and the importance of sharing one's story. They reflected on the journey that had brought them to this moment, recognizing that every challenge, every moment of vulnerability, had led to something beautiful. The warmth of the memories from the retreat enveloped them, and they made a mental note to follow up with participants, eager to hear about their continued journeys. In the following weeks, Alex dedicated time to maintaining those connections. They organized online meetups for participants to share their progress, discuss challenges, and celebrate victories, no matter how small. Each meeting was filled with laughter and support, reinforcing the bonds that had been formed during the retreat. The participants became more than just individuals seeking help. They were now a community, united by their shared experiences and the desire to uplift one another. As Alex continued to engage with the community, they found that their own journey was evolving. The stories shared during the retreat inspired them to delve deeper into their own healing process. They began journaling more frequently, exploring their thoughts and feelings with honesty. This practice allowed them to reflect on their growth and the lessons learned over the past few months. It was a cathartic experience, one that helped them gain clarity and insight into the path they wanted to take moving forward. One evening, while journaling, Alex had a moment of inspiration. They decided to compile the stories and insights shared during the workshops into a book, a collection of narratives that would capture the essence of resilience and hope. The idea excited them. It was a chance to not only share their journey, but to amplify the voices of others who had bravely shared their stories. They envisioned a book filled with personal anecdotes, practical advice, and reflections that would resonate with anyone facing challenges in their lives. With renewed determination, Alex set to work on the book. They reached out to participants, asking for their permission to include their stories and insights. The responses were overwhelmingly positive, with many expressing gratitude for the opportunity to share their experiences in a broader context. Alex felt a deep sense of responsibility to honor their stories and present them authentically. Each narrative was a piece of a larger puzzle, and together they would create a powerful message of hope. The writing process was both exhilarating and challenging. Alex often found themselves lost in thought, reflecting on their own experiences while weaving in the stories of others. They would spend hours at their desk, surrounded by notes, recordings, and the memories of the retreat, as they crafted each chapter with care. The act of writing became a form of healing for Alex, a way to process their journey while also celebrating the resilience of those around them. As the months passed, the book began to take shape. Alex poured their heart into the project, and they knew it was something special. They envisioned it not just as a collection of stories, but as a beacon of hope for anyone who felt alone in their struggles. The thought of sharing this message with a wider audience filled Alex with excitement and purpose. On the day they finalized the manuscript, a sense of accomplishment washed over them. This was more than just a book. It was a culmination of their experiences, the shared stories of others, and a testament to the strength found in community. They decided to title it, "Together We Rise," a reflection of the spirit of unity and resilience that had emerged from the workshops and retreats. As they prepared for the book launch, Alex felt a mix of excitement and nerves. They organized a community event to celebrate the release, inviting participants from the workshops, friends, family, and local supporters. The venue was filled with anticipation, laughter, and warmth as attendees gathered to celebrate not only the book, but also the connections that had been formed over the past year. During the launch event, Alex shared their journey of writing "Together We Rise," emphasizing the importance of each story shared and the collective strength that had emerged from vulnerability. As they looked out at the familiar faces in the crowd, they felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Each person present had played a role in this journey, and together they had created something beautiful. The evening was filled with heartfelt speeches, readings from the book, and moments of connection that echoed the spirit of the retreat. Attendees mingled, sharing their thoughts on the stories and expressing how they had resonated with their own experiences. It was a night of celebration, not just for the book, but for the community that had blossomed from Alex's journey. As the night drew to a close, Alex felt a profound sense of fulfillment. They had taken the leap from a game show contestant to a community advocate, and now they were an author. The journey had been transformative, filled with challenges, growth, and moments of joy. With "Together We Rise," Alex hoped to inspire others to embrace their stories and find strength in connection. With a heart full of gratitude and excitement for the future, Alex knew that this was just the beginning. They were ready to continue their journey, to advocate for others, and to create more spaces for healing and connection. As the final guests departed, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose wash over them, ready to embrace whatever new beginnings awaited them on this incredible journey. With the successful launch of Together We Rise, Alex felt a surge of momentum propelling them forward. The book had been met with enthusiasm, and the feedback from readers was overwhelmingly positive. Many expressed how the stories within had touched their hearts, resonated with their own experiences, and inspired them to embrace their journeys with renewed courage. Yet, as with any significant achievement, new challenges emerged on the horizon. As Alex immersed themselves in the world of authorship, they quickly realized that writing a book was only the beginning. The task of promoting Together We Rise presented a series of hurdles that felt daunting. They had envisioned a simple launch, but the reality of marketing a book was far more complex. While Alex was passionate about sharing the stories and messages within, they were not trained in the intricacies of public relations, social media, or the publishing industry. The prospect of navigating these uncharted waters was both exciting and intimidating. Determined to overcome these obstacles, Alex began by researching strategies for book promotion. They attended workshops on marketing for authors and sought advice from seasoned writers who had successfully launched their own books. Alongside Mia, who had always been a source of support and encouragement, Alex created a detailed plan outlining potential avenues for reaching their target audience. They brainstormed ideas for social media campaigns, book signings, and speaking engagements, eager to spread the message of resilience and community. However, as the weeks progressed, Alex encountered a series of setbacks that tested their resolve. Initial attempts to secure speaking engagements at local schools and community centers were met with polite rejections and scheduling conflicts. Email after email went unanswered, and the frustration began to mount. It was disheartening to see the enthusiasm for the book not translate into opportunities for engagement. Each rejection felt like a personal blow, and doubts crept in. What if their message wasn't as impactful as they had hoped? What if no one wanted to hear their story? During one particularly challenging week, Alex sat at their kitchen table, surrounded by rejection emails and marketing materials that felt futile. The weight of disappointment pressed down on them, and they felt a familiar pang of uncertainty. It was a stark reminder of the struggles they had faced before, moments when they had questioned their worth and purpose. "Maybe I'm not cut out for this," Alex murmured to themselves, the thought echoing in their mind. Recognizing the need for a shift in perspective, Alex reached out to Mia for support. They met at their favorite cafe, where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the chatter of patrons. As they settled into a cozy corner, Alex shared their frustrations. "I just feel like I'm hitting a wall. It's so hard to stay motivated when it seems like no one's interested," they admitted, their voice tinged with sadness. Mia listened intently, her expression empathetic. "It's completely normal to feel overwhelmed, especially when you're pursuing something you care about so deeply. But remember, every obstacle is an opportunity to learn and grow. You've faced challenges before and come out stronger. This is just another part of your journey." Her words resonated with Alex, reminding them of the resilience they had cultivated throughout their experiences. Inspired by their conversation, Alex decided to refocus their efforts. Rather than solely pursuing traditional speaking engagements, they explored alternative platforms for sharing their message. They began hosting free online webinars, using social media to reach a broader audience. This approach allowed them to connect with individuals from different backgrounds, many of whom found comfort in the stories shared during the sessions. The sense of community that emerged online was invigorating, and the positive feedback fueled Alex's determination to keep going. During one of the webinars, Alex shared their personal journey, discussing the highs and lows they had experienced since the game show. They encouraged participants to share their own stories, emphasizing that each voice mattered. The engagement was heartwarming, with attendees expressing gratitude for the safe space to connect and share. Alex felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment, realizing that even in the face of obstacles, they had the power to create meaningful connections. The success of the webinars reignited Alex's passion, and they decided to leverage this momentum to expand their outreach. They reached out to local schools and community organizations again, but this time with a new strategy in mind. They proposed interactive workshops that combined storytelling and wellness practices, highlighting the importance of mental health and community support. This fresh approach captured the attention of several organizations, resulting in invitations to speak at events aimed at promoting wellness and resilience. As Alex prepared for these engagements, they poured their heart into crafting impactful presentations. They included interactive elements, inviting participants to share their experiences and insights, creating a dynamic exchange of ideas. The workshops quickly became a hit, with attendees expressing gratitude for the opportunity to engage in meaningful conversations about mental health and resilience. One afternoon, after a particularly successful workshop at a local high school, a student approached Alex with tears in her eyes. "Thank you for sharing your story," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "I've been struggling with anxiety and feeling alone, but hearing what you went through made me realize I'm not alone. I want to start sharing my story too." The student's words struck a chord with Alex, reinforcing the idea that vulnerability fosters connection and healing. In that moment, Alex understood the profound impact of their work, and it filled them with renewed purpose. As the months unfolded, Alex continued to build on their successes, embracing the challenges that came their way. They developed partnerships with mental health organizations, facilitating workshops that combined storytelling with practical tools for coping and resilience. The community response was overwhelmingly positive, with many attendees expressing how the workshops had inspired them to take charge of their mental health and seek support. However, even in the midst of success, Alex faced moments of self-doubt. The pressure to maintain momentum was palpable, and the fear of not being enough crept in at unexpected times. During these moments, they leaned on Mia, who reminded them to embrace the journey rather than fixate on perfection. "You're doing incredible work, Alex. Just keep being authentic and true to yourself. That's what resonates with people," she would often say, her unwavering support grounding Alex during turbulent times. In one of their conversations, Alex shared an idea that had been brewing in their mind. "What if we created a community event that combines our workshops with a day of fun activities? A kind of festival celebrating resilience and mental health awareness," they suggested, their eyes lighting up with excitement. Mia's enthusiasm matched Alex's. They began brainstorming ideas for the event, envisioning a day filled with workshops, guest speakers, art displays, and interactive activities that would foster connection and joy. With a clear vision in mind, they set to work organizing the event. They reached out to local businesses for sponsorships, collaborated with artists to showcase their work, and invited mental health professionals to lead workshops. The planning process was a whirlwind of activity, filled with meetings, phone calls, and brainstorming sessions. But Alex felt invigorated by the collaborative energy. This was a chance to bring the community together in a celebration of resilience, and they were determined to make it a success. As the day of the festival approached, excitement filled the air. The venue buzzed with energy as volunteers set up booths, decorated the space with colorful banners, and prepared for the influx of attendees. Alex felt a mix of anticipation and nerves, but they reminded themselves of the purpose behind the event. It was about creating a space for connection and healing, and that goal fueled their determination. On the day of the festival, the sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the festivities. As attendees began to arrive, Alex welcomed them with open arms, feeling a sense of joy as familiar faces appeared. The atmosphere was electric, filled with laughter, conversations, and the sound of music playing in the background. Workshops kicked off throughout the day, with participants exploring topics such as mindfulness, creative expression, and building resilience. One of the highlights of the festival was a panel discussion featuring individuals who had shared their stories during Alex's workshops. As they spoke candidly about their journeys, the audience listened intently, captivated by the authenticity and vulnerability displayed on stage. Each story resonated deeply, reinforcing the idea that struggles are universal, and sharing them fosters connection and understanding. As the day came to a close, Alex took a moment to reflect on the incredible turnout and the sense of community that had blossomed throughout the event. They felt a profound sense of gratitude for everyone who had participated, shared their stories, and contributed to the day's success. It was a celebration of resilience, a reminder that together, they could overcome obstacles and support one another in their journeys. As the festival concluded, Alex received countless messages of appreciation from attendees, each one reinforcing the impact of their work. The event had not only provided a platform for connection, but it also created lasting memories for everyone involved. Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose as they realized that the journey of overcoming obstacles was ongoing, filled with opportunities for growth, connection, and healing. In the weeks following the festival, Alex reflected on the progress they had made and the obstacles they had faced. They recognized that each challenge had shaped them into a more resilient advocate, someone who understood the importance of community and the power of vulnerability. As they moved forward, Alex remained committed to their mission of fostering connection and support, knowing that the journey ahead would be filled with both triumphs and trials. With a heart full of hope, Alex embraced the next chapter of their journey, ready to face whatever obstacles lay ahead and eager to continue making a difference in the lives of others. They had learned that resilience isn't just about overcoming challenges. It's about embracing the journey, celebrating the victories, and finding strength in community. And armed with that knowledge, they knew they could face anything that came their way.